Okay. Clinton Jaws here, guys. That's who I am. You know what? Testing. Testing. Why am I down here tonight? I shouldn't be. Well, yeah, I should be. Yeah, I should be. I should be down here tonight. And yeah, I'm going to have a couple glasses of wine, okay? It's my Friday. The wife, she's got the COVID. She's got the COVID right now. And I don't know, she's being really dramatic over it. So I thought I'd get myself a couple of glasses of wine while she works through it, because you got to learn to live with the virus. And yeah, okay, it's going to be a long podcast, guys. Okay, some of you like the long ones, most of you don't. I'm not doing this for views. I'm doing this because the wife has COVID and I want to be down here right now talking with you. And I don't know. It's weird. Like, she's up there talking to us and chatting with us. And we're in the same area. And you know what? I'm upstairs. And I don't think I'm going to air this podcast. I just don't think I'm going to. Because it's choppy. It's going to be choppy tonight. I'm not prepared, even though I took some notes. And I got a little script here from my little book from Kylie, my daughter. She gave it to me. And it's an odd night. It's a weird night. She's upstairs. And she says to me, Clint, could you go to the gas station and get me some Advil? And I'm like, she's got a headache. She's faking a headache. And I said, I'm kind of tired and I feel a little run down. And you should learn to, Bonnie Henry, she told everybody that it's usually just a mild cold, so just work through it. But you could go to the store, and if you do, while you're at it, can you get me some beef jerky? It didn't go over well. She wasn't happy with me when I said that. But really, if you think about it, I don't think they suggest you taking anything. There's really, for a couple of years, there hasn't been treatment. The treatment for COVID is go home, stay home, try to get some rest, work through it, Advil, Tylenol, whatever. That's like a mask. That's not really going to do anything. And just focus on your breathing, really. And yeah, it's not me who said it. It's who my wife works for, which is Bonnie Henry. And I thought that was good advice. Have you guys noticed? Have you guys, have you been getting along with your spouse lately? I feel like little things are ticking each other. We're ticking each other off a bit, like over nothing. Little things. And by the way, I just want to say, why don't I have COVID? Okay, she's got COVID. The kids don't have COVID, but she has COVID. Why don't we have COVID? Isn't that weird? That's weird. You would think we would get it. Maybe I will get it. But we've been kind of, I've noticed that we're just ticking each other off over nothing. Over jokes, really. Mostly jokes. She tells me the other day, okay, this is like just the other day she tells me this. She tells me that, hey, Clint, Betty White died, she says. And I replied, good. And that started a fight. That started an argument. Why would that start? And how did she not know that Betty White died a month ago? Like, that came out a month ago. But really, when I first read, I thought she died in 2007. I couldn't believe she was still alive when I read that article. And then another article popped up, and it said, what Betty White died of. Betty White died of, and I'm like, age? Obviously. She was 99. But apparently it wasn't age. It was, she died of a stroke. What? Died in her sleep. No, I'm pretty sure she died because she was 100. Anyways, she didn't like the fact that I said good. And I don't know. Maybe that's the cop in me. You know? Everybody dies. But it ticked her off a bit. It made her angry. I swear to God, I got to tell you this. And I'm not going to say it right because I've already had a glass of wine. We're going to the store. We're at the store. This is going to sound so stupid. But I watch her go into the store. And when she gets out of the store, she's getting into the car. And I thought it'd be funny if I just looked at her and I did this. And I stayed like that, like a statue. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Could you imagine if you just showed up and I was like this one day for every day because I came down with a condition?" that was me, and you had to talk to me. This is so dumb. I just realized how dumb it was, but I thought it was funny at the time. You know what she tells me? She goes, "Oh, go ahead. I don't care. I swear to God, if that ever happened to you, Clint, I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't believe in people having to live their lives with somebody that suffered something. And I'm just plain and simple. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, buddy." She started talking like that, buddy and dude. "I'm not doing it, dude. No way am I going to do it. No way am I going to spend the rest of your life, my life, with you if you're like that for the rest of your life. I shouldn't have to. Not going to do it." I'm like, okay. Okay. That's good to know. And we're about a mile into our drive. She won't stop talking about it. Like, the conversation's over, but she can't stop talking about it. And she starts saying, "You know what, Clint? I work in a care home, okay? I can see." And I'm like, "Why are you still talking about this? This is like the conversation's over." No. "I can see why spouses leave their spouse at the care home. I can see me leaving you if you become that. I can see why other spouses at the care home, they drop them off. They are leaving their spouse because they have become," and I cut her off and I said, "bitchy?" And and that didn't go over well. Okay, so we've just been on each other's nerves lately. Over nothing. Now she's got the COVID. It's like a big deal. And I swear to God, I told her, oh my God, this is so dumb. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I'm just coming down to talk to you guys. I told her, it's not even funny, but I told her, we got these recycle bins. Okay, we got these recycle bins. Do you guys have these recycle bins outside of your house and these garbage bins? And then there's another bin for organics. And it was getting full. I don't even know how you can full this son of a gun, but it's getting full. And organics ain't coming. They're not coming for like a couple more days. So I told her I was just going to drop it off at the homeless shelter. And another argument, like she didn't like that. And I'm like, I'll pick it up in the morning. Like, what's wrong with that? Why is that a big deal? I think that's a good thing. If everybody did that, think about it. Think how much food they would have. And no, that was dumb. That was dumb. That was a bad thing to say, and it ticked her off. I just want to read this to you guys, okay? It came out, I don't know, an hour ago. One of my subscribers sent it to me. And I'm like, dude, why are you sending me misinformation? This happened, okay? This is a thing. Lockdowns, this is what they found out through a study, okay? Stay with me because I'm going to take some calls. But this is what they found out through a study, and I don't really want to talk about this right now because obviously I don't agree with what I'm about to say. Lockdown. They did a study, guys, like a huge, massive study. And who's it from? Oh, it's only from Johns Hopkins. Who are they, right? This is what they proved. Lockdowns only reduce COVID deaths by 0.2%, Johns Hopkins study finds. We find no evidence that the lockdowns, school closures, border closures, and limiting gatherings have had a noticeable effect on COVID-19 mortality. Who's going to believe that? A new study out of John Hopkins University is claiming that worldwide pandemic lockdowns only prevented 0.2% of COVID-19 deaths and were not an effective way of reducing mortality rates during a pandemic. And I thought, what are you doing? Why are you spreading that news? I've been saying that for 2 years. I've been saying that restrictions were bad. Restrictions are worse. Restrictions can kill. But I learned the facts from Bonnie Henry, Dr. Bonnie Henry and Adrian Dix. I learned the facts from them, that restrictions were important, so I don't know why they're saying that. Restrictions saved lives. But according to this study, it only saved, like in Canada, 70 people. That can't be right. That can't be right. 70 people? There's no way Bonnie Henry and Adrian Dix and the rest of Canada would lock down Canada for 70 lives when I used to think that the normal flu killed thousands, but I don't know. Misinformation. I don't want to say anything that is wrong. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I don't believe it, of course. I'm not going to believe that hogwash. I've been watching Facebook for the past 2 years. Wear your mask, Don't go out, stay home, save lives. According to this study, that didn't do anything. So I believe them on Facebook. I don't believe what they're writing here. Do you know there's some people that, according to this, if you listen to this, the restrictions, which is hogwash, the restrictions and lockdowns actually killed more people than saved people from COVID-19. And I don't know if I said that right. I probably didn't because I don't know what I'm talking about. But the restrictions, if you listen to this, because there's restrictions and lockdown, it caused more suicide because of the restrictions and lockdowns than the 70 people that are killed. Alcohol overdoses, combined suicide, alcohol overdoses, and drug overdoses, and not being able to get in to see a doctor to get your balls checked out for cancer, stuff like that, right? You can't see a psychiatrist, you can't see a psychologist, it's all Zoom. If you combine all those things, according to this article, that killed more people than restrictions and lockdowns, and I'm not going to believe that for 1 second, because Bonnie Henry and Adrian Dix, they have saved hundreds of thousands of people. It's not the other way around, okay? And how dare them go against doctors that are running our country? And I was shocked to read it. I was shocked to read it because I really thought lockdowns and restrictions were working, even though I said for the past 2 years they don't, because I was brainwashed. I was just really shocked to hear that they would come out with this study. And I hope they continue with the mandatory vaccinations. I hope they continue with the restrictions because I think they're important for the next 5 years. Lockdowns and restrictions. And if we remember the normal flu? Remember we used to always get the regular flu shot and stuff like that? If we get a flu next Christmas, that's not the COVID-19. I hope they continue to lock things down. Lock down the school, because you got to save thousands of lives, right, to do that. You don't want it to spread the flu to older people. And I really support that they do that. Lock down the world, make the world crazy, because it's important to save lives. Dumb. Advil. She wants Advil and Tylenol. I'm like, no. Okay. You've been vaccinated 3 times, and the vaccination is what is going to get us out of this. Okay, come on. Don't you know? Lockdowns, restrictions, vaccinations, guys. That's what's going to get us out of this. Okay, I just want to say something really quickly. I did a couple of videos that were kind of like, people were kind of like, oh, I don't know, Clan, I don't know about that. I don't think I agree with that. I think that's, I did a video about a girl who, and I don't even know why I brought it up. I did a video about a police officer in Durham. She did a social media post backing the truckers, and I'm getting a lot of comments that are saying, you know, like, she can't do that. She shouldn't do that. She's wearing a uniform. You shouldn't do that when you're wearing your uniform. Fair enough. I get where you're coming from, but really part of me, I look at the big picture and I'm like, who cares? Really, who cares? Do you know what the RCMP did? They took parts of their uniform off, showed up to work with parts of the uniform off because they didn't believe in something, and that was a race. Took the yellow stripe off their pants. I did that. And there's pictures all over the place, all in the media, in the newspaper, in the Port Alberni newspaper, there was pictures. And then you have these political science teachers and professors saying that you can't do that. You can't do stuff like that. You can't say stuff like that. My whole point was, loosen up. You had a girl that said a couple of nice words for a big group of good people. Big deal. Loosen up. It looks stupid when you don't punish me, you don't give me a code of conduct, or 19 other thousand cops a code of conduct for ripping their uniform off. And these cops that she works with said she broke rules. Well, 19,000 RCMP members broke rules if we're going to follow their logic. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. You know, police are people. They're people. Normal people. But there's a separation from civilian to police officer. And when I talk about it out loud, that's actually kind of stupid. Like, I was a civilian before I became a cop, and then I was not a civilian. Maybe that's the problem. The separation. There's a distinction between the two. And I think we live in a different world now. And good for her for saying it. And shame on the bosses that are going to give her a code of conduct. You suck. That's what I think. You suck. You can kneel at a other protest, but you can't go on social media and say what you believe in. Obviously, if she's going to go on social media and say, I love Nazis, that's a little bit different, right? That's not what I'm saying. Anyways, enough of that. Let's take some calls. 604-330-2512. Guys, call the hotline. It doesn't matter if you're a cop or you're trying to be a cop. You can be anybody. And it doesn't matter what question you ask me. Ask me anything. Let's talk about anything. It doesn't always have to be about policing.
Hey, Clint, it's Brian from L Division, way out on the East Coast. Just want to say I really enjoy your YouTube channel. It's really good. But I noticing your walls are a little blank in your new studio. I've got something here. If you're willing to send me an address, I'll ship it to you. You can put on your wall. If you're a little weary, I can send a picture of it first, so you don't think I'm sending you something hateful or anything. Keep up the good content, and talk to you soon. Oh, it's number 506-2. See ya.
Thanks, dude. That was nice. Thanks for the compliment. And hey, you know what? You want to send me something? I'll leave my P.O. box in the description. And I've had a few people send me things, and it's really nice. It's a nice to receive it. I'm excited to receive it. But I also feel a bit, and this is not going to come out right, but I feel a little obligated that I have to talk about it. And I don't know, it's just something that, because I don't mind talking about it. Okay, this is not going to come out right. And I don't know why I brought this part up. I was just going to say thanks. And I was going to say, go ahead, send me something. I know my walls are bare. I'm still working on this thing. I don't like the color. It's weird. And there's much more work to do. And, but, okay. So Dustin, there's a guy named Dustin. Great guy. And he said, hey, Clint, I got this coin. Why am I talking about this? And anyways, when he sent it to me, I started digging into the story. And I'm like, oh, man. Like why am I doing that? Why do I do that? It just hit me hard. It hit me hard. Reading the background of some of these things that I get sent to me. And it was a beautiful thing that he sent to me, and I appreciate it, and I love it, and I put it up on my cabinet. And I haven't been... Like, this is like... It feels like it's months ago. I haven't talked about it. I don't even know what to say. I'll show it to you. Okay, he sent me a coin. And Heidi Stevenson says that somewhere, yeah. Constable Heidi Stevenson, reg number 45. I'm a 49. And I love it, man. Thank you. Like, I'll have this forever. And it was a female police officer. Not prepared to talk about it. But I'll just give you the lowdown, I guess. Heidi Stevenson. She was involved in the Wortman case, where Wortman killed 22 people. And you know what? Don't rake me over the coals for not knowing the full story and screwing it up right now, okay? Because I probably will. But she locates him on a road, on a highway, doesn't matter. And they have a collision. Because why? Because she's brave and courageous. And she's a goddamn hero, is what she is. They collide. Wortman gets out of his car, kills her dead, and then takes her gun and her magazines. But the thing that you guys probably don't even realize, they caught him minutes later. He only drove 16 kilometers later. That's where they caught him, 16 kilometers away from the crash. So you know that Heidi Stevenson had a huge part in saving more lives that day. It would have been more than 22. So I can't believe I'm talking about this right now. It's so sad. It's so sad for me to, when I was a police officer, I purposely didn't put my shoes. Could you imagine if every death I went to, and there's probably 500 of them, you don't want to feel what they feel. But now that I'm retired, and I just don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I really don't want to hear about it. And I don't want to relate to it. But I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should. But I dug into who Heidi was. She was 49 years old. She had 23 years experience. Maybe another year she retires. And so I said, that's the stuff that gets to me, right? And she met a guy named Dean, and they got married. And Dean meets her while Heidi's at a high school. She's a cop, and she's a school liaison officer. And that's how they meet. And they piss off. They put all their careers on hold. They piss off together. They go to Japan. And they teach English. Like just normal, like regular, good people. They come back. They have a couple of kids. Connor and Ava, I think. And she would take one of the kids to hockey. And I'm like, oh, that's what I do. I take my kid to hockey. You know what I mean? So I relate to it, and I'll never. Oh man, it's just she would put her kids to bed, and I don't know her at all. I've never met her, but I found out she likes red wine, and I know for a fact, because this is what I think in my weird head, that this mom died, and what she used to love doing, which I'm making up, but I think she did, she would put her kids to bed and pour herself a glass of red wine, and her and Dean would sit on the couch and talk about the day. So that's like, I don't know, I really dig into it, and what really makes me sick is when I hear people say defund Heidi Stevenson. Like, what? What are you talking about? You don't defund people like that. You don't hate people like that. You don't call people like that racist. So go ahead and send me something. God, that was. And she was on the mounted ride, too. Are we calling it the mounted ride? I don't even know what it is.
Jaws.
Dude.
Just watching CBC News today.
Oh, why?
Trudeau.
Oh, he's good. I love him.
Says on there, no place in this country for threats, violence, or hatred.
I don't blame him. There
Talking
isn't.
about the protest.
Yeah, so?
Of the truckers in Ottawa.
That's a good comment. There's no place
Just
for violence.
curious your thoughts on
what?
Nothing's ever said about tearing down statues of our founding fathers.
No.
Nothing's ever said about burning Catholic churches.
Good point.
Nothing's ever said about Chief Allen.
Chief Allen.
Just wondering your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.
You're welcome, dude, and thanks for the call. I love it when you call, because I think you've called before. And you know what, dude? I was doing a video. I did a video on, what was it called? I don't even know now. Trudeau at the protest, and I was making fun of Trudeau, ripped him apart a bit. And you gave me the idea to throw in the church part because I had forgotten about it. So thank you. I used that because of what you said. I don't know what to say. I already said it, and it's disgusting, guys. And it's disgusting that I'm even saying the word disgusting. He watched statues go down. He watched important things that mean a lot to Canada go down, and he said he understood. And then he basically crucifies the protest that's going on in Ottawa. And who do you vote for? You got nobody to vote for. You don't want to vote for O'Toole. The only reason you're voting for O'Toole is because you don't want Trudeau to be in there. And I said this to my dad before the last election. What Trudeau has done, how Trudeau has created Canada. I don't know why I do this. But how Trudeau has created Canada, who's not going to vote for him? Who's not going to vote for him? And I don't want to get into what he has done. I just don't want to go down that road right now. But he has made it. He has bought votes. Is he going anywhere? I don't know. It's already been a long time. I said to my dad, I'd say 15, 20 years. I said something like that. I can't remember what I said. I don't even know if you can do that for that long. We live in a weird time, and Chief Adam Allen, remember Chief Adam Allen? And you know what's funny? When Chief Adam Allen happened, a lot of people were upset, including retired police officers. They said the tackle to the ground of Chief Adam Allen was aggressive and what effing word am I looking for? They found it to be over-aggressive. Trudeau came out and said it was racist. He talked about racism. He brought up racism right away. Said it was racist. Brenda Lucki came out and said, oh, yeah. There's systemic racism in the RCMP. And that killed the RCMP. Killed them. She said it because Trudeau hired her. Because Trudeau said he was going to hire a woman Trudeau didn't hire the best person for the job because he said he was going to hire a woman. He didn't say he was going to hire the best woman, the best person for the job. He eliminated all the males, every single male race, and focused on a girl. And we'll never know if Brenda Lucki, well, we do know that he didn't pick the perfect person in the litter. And she comes out and talks to her boss, Trudeau, because they have a telephone conversation about racism. And she goes on to the news the next day and says, there's systemic racism in the RCMP. And I don't know why I'm talking about this right now because you brought up Chief Adam Allen, but that's ruined the RCMP. I can't believe how the world is. Isn't it bizarre to you? What's happening? What's going on? It's pretty freaky to me when you really look at it. What am I scared of? Should I be scared of something? Because I feel a little worried. Why do I feel worried? I guess it's because of the mandatory vaccinations and the closures and the restrictions that they can just do that. They just do it. And I guess it's because I sit here and I can't really voice my opinion, but I do. I say things that tick them off that they don't like. I know they don't. I've been told that CSIS knows my name. And, I'm just waiting for them to show up and take it away. Go. I don't want them to, but go ahead. It's not going to stop me from talking. Joe Rogan can't speak. He's going to be off Spotify. It's like you can't even talk anymore. You can't say the other side. You can't say the truth. And it's really freaky. Like, I think it's the truth. They think it's the truth. So why can't we both, you say what you want to say, I'll say what I want to say. What's wrong with that? And so I make fun of a few people. It's pissing them off. I know it is. I've been told. Tough. You pissed me off for my entire career. If I bug you a little bit, you're going to have to take it. But no. Like Joe Rogan, they want to stop you. And I went off on a tangent there. And I forgot what my... I guess I was just saying that it's worrisome. It's scary. And I hate using the word worrisome. And I hate using the word crap. That's... If I can't swear on here, I have to use the word crap. And that is just... I can't be doing that. Why can't there just be two sides and we don't agree? How about that? Don't cancel anybody. I don't want to see anybody canceled. Anybody, even if it's on that side. I don't care. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel them. Just leave it. Okay? Bonnie Henry, what? According to this article, they might have caused a lot of deaths. But I don't want to see her going to jail. Oh, God, they thought they did such a good job. And we always knew. The people on the other side always knew how stupid restrictions were. And lockdowns. Wouldn't listen to us. The politicians let the doctors take over. I'm not going to talk about it again.
Hey, Clint. This is Brendan Query. Live in Alberta. I'll be starting my application on February 14th.
Thanks, dude. Love Day. What a great day. The Day of Love. Brendan, I think your name is. Thanks for calling.
Just a couple quick questions for you there.
Quick?
During the application process, the only thing I have slight concern about.
You got a concern about your application. What is it?
Was about 2 years ago, I think 2019, whatever it would be.
Don't know what you said, but I think you said something that happened in 2019.
3 years. Was at a house garage dating at the time. One of her.
You said something about you were at a house. I think it was a party, and you were dating a girl at the time. I think the girl that you were dating, it's her house. And I'm saying this because I listened to this message about 10 times. So you're at a house party, and it's a girl that you're dating.
Was at a house garage dating at the time. One of her friends wanted to go down to the corner store.
One of her friends wanted to go down to the corner store. Okay. I love it when you guys call.
She was drunk. She was going no matter what. I had had a drink or two.
She's drunk. No matter what, she's going. She's going to this. She's going to this corner store. You've had a drink or two.
So I was safe to drive. Only issue was that I still had my GDL at the time.
Okay, Alberta has a GDL. It's like a one-up from a learner's or something like that, okay? It's like...
Which, if you don't know what that is, it's like the Alberta version of your new driver's license.
Okay.
So I wasn't supposed to have any alcohol in my system.
No alcohol in your system.
But I figured it was better than her walking in the kind of shitty part of Edmonton we were in.
That's what you were thinking? No, she was hot.
So I gave her a ride. Nothing happened, legally. No one crashed, nothing like that. No one got pulled over. It was all good. But if that comes up, which it would, I would think, in the disclosure form, is that going to be an issue for me, or because it was with good intentions and I'm honest about it?
Good intentions.
I'm just going to kind of look past that sort of thing. Thanks for any advice. Love the show. I'll call back again if I have any other questions.
Do it.
Have a good day.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for calling, man. See, it's a good story. He's at a house party. He's with his girlfriend who's probably not as good looking as her friend. And he's like, oh, I can't let you go to the store alone. She was walking. Okay, she wasn't even going to hop in a car. She wasn't going to drive to the store. And he's like, I gotta do a good thing here, and I gotta drive her to the store. Dude, I don't know, man. Okay, hold on. Okay, there's a question, and there's a question in your application that's going to come up. It's going to say something. Have you ever driven while under the influence of alcohol? Influence. What's that? Do you think in your head that you had too much to drink to drive? Did you have too much to drink to drive? Now, I know in Alberta, under your driver's license, it's a 0% tolerance. You can't blow. If you ever been caught by a cop, you have to blow a 0. So how do you know what you were going to blow? You might have blown a 0. You said you had a drink or two, even though everybody I've ever pulled over, they always say that. But is it true? Did you have a drink or two? Because if I have a beer in an hour, and I got to watch what I say. But if I get pulled over and the cop says, have you had anything to drink? And I say, yeah, a beer in an hour. And if he gives me a breathalyzer, there's a good chance I'm going to blow a 0. Misinformation. It's the truth. How do you know that you weren't going to blow a 0? If what you're saying is true, okay, if you know in your mind that you had way too much alcohol, if you're running after this hot chick with a beer in your hand, I'll give you a ride, and you were doing that shit, I wasn't going to swear, but I just did. Then, if you honestly know that you really had a good deal of alcohol in your body, then yeah, you tell them. But you don't just... I got to watch what I say here, but I'm just telling the truth. Is it possible you would have blew a 0? Did you feel drunk? Were you drunk? Was it 1? Or was it 2? Was it 1 in an hour? When you write out that application, don't just give ifs and maybes. Oh, maybe I was drunk. Maybe, I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I grabbed a cigarette from a guy and he said it was laced in marijuana. We're talking high school years. And I smoked the cigarette and I wasn't high or anything like that. Do you think I'm going to write down on my RCMP application? I think maybe that I took marijuana. No, I'm not going to. Because I don't know. If you don't know, then you don't say it. And even if you did, and I don't know, you seem confused about the years, which is important. Because 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, when I was in recruiting, there were certain things that, okay, you're gone for a year, you're gone for 2. I think your story is a good story. I don't think you're going to have any issues even if you tell the story. I don't know if you necessarily have to even write it down or mention it. Because why would you? You've never driven drunk, okay? But if you told the story, but who knows, maybe you get a effing dummy as a cop, and there's a lot of them in recruiting. This is, we can't have that. Well, you did what? But you never know. You never know. Recruiting changes every day. They change their policies and their procedures every day. So you never know. You never know what they're going to say or come up with. And I was going to say something else, but I just forgot. Oh, yeah, that's it. You mentioned something about, and this is important. You said something about, should I tell them the story because I had good intentions? No, you didn't have good intentions. You didn't. Don't think in your head that the RCMP are ever going to think that you had good intentions because you didn't want this hot chick to walk alone in a bad street. That your good intention was, well, I can't have her walk alone, so I'm going to drive with alcohol in my system. RCMP don't want to hear that because, well, what are you telling us? You're not telling us a good thing. Are you going to do it again? You know what I mean? Are you possibly going to break the law again for what you think is good intentions? Because it's not. You let her walk, dude. You let her go bye-bye. See you later. But we got to stop. Okay. Guys get in trouble for 2 reasons when you're a police officer. One, you shoot a person, and girls. Okay. And I probably shouldn't have said that. But it's kind of true. It's kind of true. And no, you didn't have good intentions. That wasn't good intentions. And they're not going to think, even though you really think that it might possibly be good intentions, they're not going to think that. They're actually going to worry that you just said that. And I hope that helped you. And I got to go upstairs. I guess I'm going to the gas station. It's going to be a real hoot up there. I'm going to take some COVID tests. And why don't I have it? Is it bad that maybe I kind of want it? Is that bad to say? Is that a bad thing to say? No, I'm not. I'm going to delete that part. I didn't mean it. But just think about it. Vaccinations are going to get us out of this, guys. Not herd immunity. I want you to know that, okay? And restrictions and lockdowns. Isn't it funny, though? Don't you get the feeling that lockdowns and restrictions and mask wearing are possibly going to go down to 0? And wouldn't that be weird if they went down to 0? Like, what were we doing for the past 2 years? Because COVID's never been as big as it is now. But yet, you get the feeling that they're just going to kibosh everything. And that would tell me that a lot of this has been a big mistake. And that's pretty sick when you have people like me and people like Rogan and people like all over the world that have been saying this for the past 2 years. Okay, I'm going. I don't even think I'm going to air this because I got kind of pissed off a couple glasses of wine. I don't want people judging me. Bye-bye.